and back to our relationship with God. Amen?
Amen.
Because a blessing of God in our eyes would be considered a double-edged sword. Joy and happiness with God, sorrow and pain and responsibility with God's call. That's the truth. God calls you. You go, all right, let me buckle down. Put on my flak vest, get my helmet, I'm ready. Here we go. Because the world is going to be against me. Name one person in the Bible that had a happily ever after that was called by God, other than Enoch. Enoch could be the one, because he just kind of went. And we know nothing about his life. And if things were written about Enoch, I'll bet you it would be all about the suffering and all about the hardship that he encountered in order to keep him with God. I'll bet you. You ask God and you and I will square up in heaven. Because everybody in the Bible, everybody that God chose, man, it was hardship and pain throughout. Everybody. There was no happily ever after anywhere in the Bible other than I'm with God, and that is happily ever after. That's blessed. I love what Mary did. Mary sought out Elizabeth. She was like, all right, I need to go and be with the spiritual woman. I need to take care of this. A little honesty here. I struggle all the time with the feeling of trying to be in control. I do. I was raised in a spiritual atmosphere within the church in such a way that you did what you were told and you told others what to do and life went on happily ever after like that. Isn't that right?
Right.
That appeals to me and my military background. I love order when it comes to that. It's so much easier. And I've told you guys this before, but this is just the perversion of my mind that after I got done with basic training, I wanted to stay there. Why? Because they told you what to do, when to do it, every second of every day, and you had to just stop thinking. And everything in your life was ordered out. You were literally told when to be happy. You did a good job. You should be happy. And you were told, wipe that smile off your face. I shouldn't be happy about this. And it was so much easier. Life. Because you didn't have to think. You didn't have to do anything. Nothing was your fault. You had to take no responsibility for anything. You just did what you were told and you went on. And when that happened in the church, that appealed to me. Because it wasn't about me being with God, it was about me being in church.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And honestly, it removed God from the equation.
Yeah.
And it was sad. It really was. I remember being in a meeting where a leader that I admired so greatly, he just said, and I understand the context and what he was saying. He was saying we were talking about an article that came out in the paper about brainwashing. And what he said was, man, I wish I knew how to brainwash people because it would make my life and this church better. I know. I went, yeah! And he was saying that in jest, saying, we don't know how to brainwash people.
Right.
We got so many problems. But even in that, that appealed to me. Why? Because it took God out of the equation. Because when you're with God, you have to live in a way that you're with God, and it's messy. And it's